So, I've been complaining about the price of beer here in Saskatchewan and how crazy it can be. And then you don't see bottles here very often. And then I saw some bottles and I'm like, is it just way too much money to bring bottles over here? Is that because this one was $12. On top of that $12, you have your bottle deposit of 20 cents. And then you have your liquor tax. So this Moonshake from Nokomis becomes quite the expensive beer. Now, this has been sitting at Sobeys for a while. I can't tell when it was actually packaged because the dating runs down the side. I know it was August 26th of 2020 something, but it wasn't 2024 because this has been sitting on their shelves since February. So at least 2023, this has been sitting there. And they have others too. They have a whole bunch of sea buckthorn berry beers. And I don't even know what a fucking sea buckthorn berry is. So do I want to pay $15 for a sea buckthorn berry beer? Not particularly. Anyway, what we have going on here is brewed with oak smoked wheat and fodder aged with lactobacillus. This mixed fermentation beer represents a unique historical beer style that marries sour with smoky. And this is a Lichtenhainer. So yeah, it is a historical beer style. I don't think I've ever had a beer of this style. If I'm thinking about it, I try not to, but if I'm thinking about it, I don't think I have. Bottle conditioned, unfiltered, and unpasteurized. Ingredients: water, wheat, barley, hops, yeast, and bacteria, which would be your lactobacillus. I am afraid of opening it. Because I do not know how old this is. I know that at least at the time that it's been at Sobeys, it's been in a fridge. But oh no, it's growing. It's growing. Okay. There you go. Slightly golden, slightly hazy, bright white head. It's fading rather quickly. Lots of snap, crackle, pop on that bright white head. Lichtenhainer. It's a Lichtenhainer. I'll just say Moonshake. Nokomis Moonshake. Okay, so scent from the jar. Smells like a Saison / usual kettle soured beer. It has that very acidic sour to it. Well, I shouldn't even say kettle sour. It does have the very acidic sourness, but it also has the tannic wood scent due to the fodder aging. So, I mean, other than the fact that you added the lactobacillus, you could think that this was almost a traditionally sour beer. It smells a lot like the Small Pony Beer Works beers. It smells a lot like a lot of the beers that would come out of Half Hours on Earth when they first, well, not when they first opened, because when they first opened, they were like the Totally and all that, the raspberry beers and everything like that. And then they went to more traditional and lactobacillus style, just sours, and they sort of tasted a lot alike, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what it smells like out of the glass. It even has and the tannic smell could just be coming from the smokiness from the smoked oak wheat, but who knows, right? Bottle. Not much on the bottle. Let's try it. Cheers. Hmm. what to say about this. It's not bad, but at the price, I would never buy it again. The sourness is overwhelmingly sour, but you do get a little bit of that smokiness in the back end, which is giving an almost, it's like sour bacon. It's weird. It's weird with like tongue depressor oak tannicness on the back of the palate. It's odd, but it's not bad. It's one of those beers that I could see coming out of like Black Creek Pioneer Village, because it's one of those beers that really seems like you made a proper beer and then it just got infected. And like they would say back then, a lot of times brew houses would serve infected beer, and it's a flavor that people would get used to because you didn't have the money to buy new barrels all the time, and you didn't know which barrel was infected, and you had no way to clean that barrel properly. So you would just have batches of beer that were infected, because you would have your beer move from barrel to barrel to barrel until it's ready to be served. So it kind of reminds me of that. And in that way, I think I have even more respect for the beer, because if you're thinking of it as a historical beer style that's done in a historical way, and I mean fodder aging it and all that would be done most likely in the way that they would do it, it brings in a thought process of, wow, this is a special beer. And I mean, again, the only thing is, at that price, I could buy, even in Saskatchewan, at this price, I could buy a 4-pack of some stuff, or a 3-pack of something, or 3 singles of something, and get get triple the amount of beer for the same price. I mean, I have no problem with it being 4.2% alcohol. I actually really enjoy that about it. My problem comes down to what I paid for it. And yes, it's a specialty bottle conditioned beer. Okay, sure. Usually the cheapest part of the beer is the containers, be it, especially if it's just a regular silver can and then you sticker it, or it's just a regular plain old bottle that you can get all the time. That's usually the cheapest part of the brewing process. The most expensive part is your ingredients and everything. And since we're in Canada's breadbasket, you would think that you would get your wheat and everything else and your malts for rather cheaper than some of the other provinces, where some of them have to import malts. So I think now, I mean, we are shipping the cans from one of the 2 coasts to Saskatchewan, but even that shouldn't add that much price that stuff like this would be a $15 purchase. And I think that's where it's at, right? So overall, in my would I buy it again, give it a 6, because I would drink it, but I wouldn't buy it again. And I'm only giving it a 6 instead of a 6.75, because I wouldn't want any of my friends or anyone to pay the money for it either. I wouldn't want that. And I get it. There is breweries that have hated me for saying stuff like that. I mean, look at Railway City. How dare you talk about the price? This was when they had the double dead elephant in the big champagne bottles, and they did the painting on the bottles and stuff. Do you know how much it costs for us to do that, put it in that bottle and all that? I'm like, don't put it in that bottle. You have to remember, I'm a consumer talking about how I want to spend my money. I don't want to pay that much money for a beer that arguably has a lot of beers for a lot cheaper that are comparable. We even did a blind taste test after Ray got pissed off and rage quit me on everything. We did a blind taste test, albeit I believe there was 5 beers in it, and Double Dead Elephant was number 3, 2 or 3. It was number 2 or 3. I believe Immodest came in first. Actually, I think it was 3, because I think Immodest came first, and then I believe 10 Bitter Years came second, and I believe they were third, and I can't remember who the other 2 double IPAs we picked up were. But we were also, when we talked about the results, we talked about the price points of the beers. There's a lot of sour beers I can get for a lot less than this. Hell, I can buy a 4-pack of the 355 milliliter cans of their Kettle Sour, which is an amazing beer, for less than this one bottle. So I get like almost 3 times the beer for the price of just this. So I mean, that's where it comes down to. Now, this beer on its own, what do I think of the beer? I'll give this beer an 8. I think the beer is well made. I think it's a great tasting beer. I just can't bring myself to ever pay the money for it again. So if you want to pay the money for it, it's an exciting experience. I love trying anything historical. One of the reasons I got into Gruit's was just the interest in trying the historical beer styles, the Kelpie beers and stuff that you could get, the historical beers of Scotland, like the Throke, the Heather Ale and stuff like that you can get in Ontario around Christmas. Great beers to try because they are amazing thoughts. Granite from Toronto and their Ringwort beer, again, historic type of stuff. And it's great to try that stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Au revoir. A bientôt. See you soon. Bye-bye. Mwah.